Like, you know what I mean? So I get it. I do. I can't get with it. I can't.
Whoa,
So
you hate reality.
Okay, so
hate it.
Hello and welcome to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and today I'm excited to welcome to the chat Elyse Breeze. She's our Director of Digital Strategy at Buffalo Toronto Public Media and basically our in-house oracle for all things trending. Whether it's reality TV chaos, viral memes, or that one Vine from 2011 you still quote daily, Elyse brings the perfect mix of smarts, sarcasm, and pop culture to the chat. Katie Daugherty, she is our social media associate at Buffalo Toronto Public Media and the brain behind BTPM's TikTok Glow Up. You may have to explain that a little bit later. If there's a trend, she's already on it. If there's a Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande lyric that fits the moment, she's quoting it. And if there's a way to tie it all back to public media, Katie's got that covered too. Whether she's boosting engagement or just boosting morale, Katie's bringing the energy to the chat. And then Cory McCants, you know him from Compact History and Compact Civics. He's a teacher, performer, storyteller, and again, a host here at Buffalo Toronto Public Media. He's out there inspiring the next generation and using his voice to drop knowledge, spread joy, and maybe crack a few jokes along the way. Whether he's talking history or hyping hometown heroes, Cory brings heart and hustle to the chat. Oh, I'm so honored to be in this group today.
Wow.
I know. It's all-star cast. Today we're talking about the weird holidays, so how everything has a day, reality show rabbit holes, and the never-ending debate, was the book really better than the movie? But first, since the show is called Group Chat, what are you talking about in your group chats? Cory, you're nodding.
Yeah. So I think recently, I don't know if it's just the universe or if it's like, a coincidence, but I think I've recently gotten added to a lot more group chats as of late. So, it used to just be like my sibling group chat and then the one for the boys. But now I have a few more that I'm in, and I am very mindful on like the role I play in the group chat, probably because of you, Bentley. You always prompt that question. But right now, the biggest thing in most group chats are like birthday plans. Like my mom's birthday just passed the other day. My birthday is in August. So like a lot of it's been the planning on what we're doing. Some of my boys who are like later on or I guess early next year are already planning like save up the money now because we travel a bit, you know what I mean? So that's kind of been the theme, I think, through most of the group chats for me.
Do you overlap? Do you combine parties? Is that okay or is that not allowed?
My birthday isn't close enough to anyone's to do that. So, no, that's not true. So my birthday, my cousin's birthday, and my grandmother's birthday are all like right after one another, 16th, 17th, and 18th. So we sometimes do. Yeah. But again, even the age difference, like what I want to do and what my grandma want to do are not the same thing. So it's kind of hard sometimes to do that. But hopefully this year, me and my cousin, we used to growing up, because he's 2 days older than we used to always do it together. Yeah. So hopefully we can bring that back around, and this year we do something together.
You do it even bigger.
Right.
Elyse, what's going on in your group chats?
I've actually been part of like several group chats. I just had to kind of like scroll through my phone and see what was going on. So one of them, we're talking about, weekend plans, what we're going to do, and also plans for tonight. And I said, I can't go because I'm going to see Superman. And they're like, you see your fiance every day. Can you come and hang out with us? I said, yeah, but I don't see the new Superman every day. And then I was sending pictures of the new Superman. I totally am blanking on his name. But my friend was like, ew, he looks like Brendan Fraser in a wig. And I was like, why would you say that about him? That was like the most recent exchange in my group chat. And then I sent another and she goes, okay, never mind.
Then you just got mad and clammed up? Or?
I was so mad because I love him. I think he's so cute.
But also Brendan Fraser is,
what's wrong with him? I know.
If you're talking 90s, Brendan Fraser, he was it, man.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. I love Brendan Fraser. They're thinking of just like, I guess maybe recent Brendan Fraser. His most recent films, The Whale, where he's like an old guy.
Yeah,
so,
a little bit different.
I don't know.
All right, well, after you see it, you need to give us the rundown on it and how it...
Yeah, bring me in for superhero movie day.
Yeah. That is a great topic idea. We've actually been talking about doing that. So,
oh, yeah. I'll clock in.
All right, Katie, how about you?
Well, there's not much going on in my world right now. All of my friends, I feel like, are moving. I just helped my best friend move into her house, which is so fancy for her. So she moved into a house, and then I'm moving soon. So we're all just very busy packing those boxes, asking people if they have extra hands and extra boxes and extra furniture. So, yeah.
No, this is a popular time. I feel like there's a lot of people looking for apartments and things like that, especially, if you graduated college in May or you're, starting a new job or, even when if people are trying to get ready for the school year that starts in September or this does seem to be a popular time. It is better to move in the summer than the winter.
Yeah.
So just be grateful.
Yeah.
I moved it a few different times, one time in February and one time in November and December. And I would not recommend that. So it's not so bad in the summer, even though it is hot. So group chats are always a thing. And you know what? Sometimes they're not glamorous, but this is real life.
Yeah, it goes down, man. Yeah.
Some of the things we're talking about today, it was funny when our producer Joanna was like, the topic is National Day. I'm like, what National Day? No, National Days. Oh, there's a lot of national days. And there really is. You look at the calendar and every day has a day. Who comes up with these days?
It's crazy.
I think they're just regular people, right?
Yeah.
Submitting their option for a national day.
Yeah.
So funny.
I feel like it's probably, this is kind of deep, but like roots back to companies wanting to, commercialize off of the consumers.
Oh, yeah.
Like recently it was National Smoothie Day. So then, of course, I had to go to Soul Bowl and get like my $6 smoothie.
Of course.
And I feel like it's probably really just a money grab all of these days.
There was a Smarty Pants episode on the Dropout channel about how national days are just like commercialized further and further by those kinds of companies. Very interesting stuff.
I also feel like you saw them surface more when blogs and online content really started to become a thing. When, you had this certain amount of posts you had to do a day, and it's like, oh, today is mimosa day, so top 10 places to get mimosas.
I was doing that when I was working at a news station here. I was looking up what day is it, so then I could look up, where can you get the best cookies, where are the best cookie deals, or yeah,
that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, it was definitely somebody that works for a website that was like, we need a day today, and there isn't one, so it's National Mojito Day. Because I feel like a mojito. National Mojito Day, Blueberry Muffin Day, and All-American Pet Photo Day are all the same day. So I guess you could go to Hurdle and go, what is the shop there that does the pet photos? The pet shop. There's a pet shop on Hurdle that does they do professional pet photos.
Oh, wow.
So I guess you could go there, and then you could go somewhere and get a blueberry muffin, and you could get a mojito and then cover all the days.
All done.
in blood.
Block, man.
Yeah, use it as decoration for the photos.
Right,
Yes.
yeah.
I think it's Daisies. Is that on Hurdle? Yeah, they do actual legit professional photos. But I think you're right, Katie. It's definitely a business oriented. What is the? Well, that made sense because 7-Eleven Day they do the smoothies, free Slurpees, yes.
Yeah,
But some make more sense because some are like,
oh, it's
our
the
name
date.
is 7-Eleven, so like on 7-Eleven or like 716 Day coming up, like those things make sense. But when it's like National Mismatched Color Sock Day, is like what
who's
is happening?
celebrating?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
And I bet you that's a thing.
I'm sure it is.
And it was presented by Big Sock.
Yeah, you gotta buy your different color socks.
Yeah, because then you feel like when I see those things, I feel like I have to partake. Oh, I keep saying National Cookie Day, but if it's National Cookie Day, I feel like I have to go get a cookie to celebrate.
That is a bit more special. National Cookie Day is we can all agree that's an official one.
special.
Yeah.
That's a real one.
But if
'Cause I
it's
will
like
go get a cookie.
National Bread Day, I have to have bread today. It's just like anything.
Right.
I feel like when I was working for a newspaper, or a newsroom, I used to try to bring in whatever day it was. But then I was like, wait, when I first started out, I'm like, I don't have the money to be doing this. Like, can we get a sponsor to do this? Like,
Yeah.
I'll bring in like 4 donuts and you can all split them. But
Everybody get a corner, yeah.
yeah.
When I was working at like a big social media agency, I mean, we had like 250 clients, right? And so it was a small team of us trying so hard. And the National Day calendar was like my go-tos or Bible, because it was like, oh, I have to write a post for an HVAC company. Ooh, it's National Popsicle Day. Perfect day. Perfect day.
But hey, we do that with group chat. Like when we're talking about topics for these episodes,
Yeah.
that's how we even came up with this idea was what day is it on Friday when it airs? And then we're like, wow, there are just so many days.
It's an idea starter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I don't think there's an issue with it, but I do think there should be in hierarchy. Like,
Yeah.
to say that everything is equally as important or as like good of a day is like some just aren't. Like we said, like National Cookie Day, everybody can celebrate because everybody needs to go get a cookie.
Right, that's
but
top
then
tier.
some are like, I don't even know what this is. And so if I get a National Day made, I don't want it to be in the same sentence as like some of these other days that are just crazy or ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or I'm sure there will be a National Reality TV Day. And it's like, I don't partake in that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, there should be a hierarchy or something like that for them.
I 100% agree with you. In case you just joined us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Elyse Breeze, Katie Daugherty, and Cory McCants. We're talking about days, national days, because there's a day for everything. And yes, on 7-Eleven, maybe a free Slurpee day. But as Cory was just discussing, just
A little bit of it is disgusting. I'm a little disgusted.
little Freudian,
Some of these days.
yeah, a little Freudian slip there. There needs to be a hierarchy. Yeah, because we can't be worried about every day celebrating. It's too much pressure.
Be exhausted.
Speaking of, are these unofficial holidays coping mechanisms for a burnt out society? So are these fun? I know we're getting deep. This is the deep.
Before we started, we were like, "What a light!
Yeah,
what a light day!"
Oh, maybe there is a deeper message. Well, I guess if keeping it light, do we need just things that don't make sense sometimes?
Yeah.
Just like because we're always thinking and always exposed to things, not so light sometimes. So is that just a way to not think?
I mean, National Cookie Day could definitely interrupt my doom scroll.
Yeah.
No problem
Sure.
with that.
Yeah.
And then I'll go down a crumble cookie rabbit hole. What's going on for the flavors of the week?
Oh, yeah.
I think it just brings joy for, many of the days. I remember in middle school, all of us in middle school went back to our elementary teacher because he always brought in donuts for National Donut Day. And
Aw.
dozens upon, because like the whole middle school would go to Mr. DePel and he would give us, I think it was high school going to middle school, but he would give everybody donuts. So he brought in so many. And I remember looking forward to that every single year. So I think it brings the joy that we need.
Yeah. Cory, you're in schools. Do you see kids responding to things like that? Maybe not a day, but just those little special things sometimes.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel like I'm known as like, the candy man. But for me, I'm never the one to like just give it out. I don't give candy for kids to like me. Yeah. But I do have it because everybody wants a little treat. But you gotta be doing your job. Like you don't get it if you don't do your job. But it does I guess like incentivize kids because they'll come up like, I stayed in class all day. Nah, I did my work. I'm like, first of all, you're supposed to do that anyway. Did you help a teacher that you didn't expect to help? Did you help somebody? Like you got to go above and beyond. But those things they do look forward to. So when they come into my office, it is that like feeling of it. And the kids that like graduate when they come back, whether it's for a Saturday Academy event or, other kids graduating, like they, you know, the familiarity they have with me, like, oh man, do you still do this? Do the kids know you do this, like for lunch bunch and stuff? So those things those things really do last, and it leaves an impression. So like what you're saying makes total sense.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm in high school, but I gotta go see Mr. DePel because you know what I mean. Hey, he got the donuts today, like
Yeah.
Wait, what do you do for lunch bunch?
Oh, my lunch bunches are like, I mean, they're supposed to be just like, you know, where we get to talk about stuff when we do that, but we got to have fun. Like I play games. I bring in like Arizonas. I always bring in like chips and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you come to my lunch bunch, I take care of you.
Okay.
But again, you can only come to lunch bunch if you deserve it. So like those things go hand in hand.
So when you brought me snacks,
Yeah.
when we were first doing group chat, I earned them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You are an amazing host. I was like, I got to bring Bentley these.
That came from us when we do mic tests, always asking what everybody had for lunch, and I had never eaten lunch.
Yeah, that is true. I think I saw you and you were like on your way to go get like some Oreos or something like that. Like, didn't have lunch. I got to go to the vending machine. You can't stand for that.
July 11th is also Cheer Up the Lonely Day.
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
Do the
Snacks
lonely know
work.
that they're lonely?
They will on.
They will
on
when
July
they look at
11th.
I know. So are you? How does that work?
I think that's kind of sweet.
It is.
It is, but it could also be unintentionally insulting.
Yeah.
Like if I get some flowers on that day, like, hey, bud, I'm like, I'm not lonely. I'm
good.
cool. Like,
Yeah.
So you might not know, but that does mean people care. So there's that.
I don't. And again, where do these really specific holidays come from? Is this a message of how we create community? Do pop-up observances reflect a human need for rituals and belonging?
Oh. Maybe. I think it's interesting that somebody thought of that and thought like, oh, someone who's lonely might need a little extra joy on this day, and maybe there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So I think that's sweet. But to Corey's point, if somebody brought me flowers, I'd be like, now why would you do that? Everything's
What are you
fine.
trying to say?
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just thought maybe you could use a little cheer up today on July 11th. All right. Can I talk to you in private?
Like, I know I've been a little cranky. It's just because I didn't eat breakfast today.
Right,
You know?
right.
Or lunch,
Or
apparently.
lunch, apparently.
There's a workaround though. What if somebody brings you a blueberry muffin on Blueberry Muffin Day and National Cheer Up the Lonely Day? Then you don't have to know that it's Cheer Up the Lonely Day. That's how you do it without making them feel bad. Oh, I just had an extra blueberry donut.
Who's tracking when it's Cheer Up the Lonely Day, though? Like, if someone brought me something, would I be like, is today Cheer Up the Lonely Day?
Let me go check my calendar real quick.
No, that's next week. I don't know what you're doing.
I do think it goes into point of like maybe the days should be like color coded or something, like the hierarchy thing, because if like a bunch of psychologists came up with Cheer Up the Lonely Day or something, then that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like not just a random person or a random cat lady, no offense to cat ladies.
Hey.
But like, that's what I mean, no offense. Like, you know, the ideal person that like doesn't have anybody, like if it wasn't just a person that came up with it, but like an organization or a group of people who are like, this needs to happen and we can make it a day, that is more beneficial. And if that's like color coded something different, meaning this National Day was like thought up by a group of, you know, a peer review National Day, you might take it a little more seriously or something like that, as opposed to something that is just like, this company is making a lot more money on this day because everybody's going to buy slushies or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it could be helpful.
Yes. And I think even with 716 Day, I think it started more as, you know, like, oh, being proud of being in Buffalo, and you think of like the Bills and the Sabres and Wings and, you know, and it has turned into more of a day of charity. I know that we are doing a charity event with a group at MLK Park that day. You know, so I have liked to see how that day, how 716 Day has evolved into actually being about community, when it could have just started out as something, you know, somebody working for a marketing department or, you know, and so I do like to see when those things, you know, go that way, because what does it really mean to be in the 716? So I like that has evolved. But also, yes, we do love wings. Now, Cory, you were talking about this earlier, if there actually, if anything becomes a reality TV day.
Right.
So when we come back from the break, we're exploring why reality TV remains our favorite cultural mirror. Part escapism, part anthropology, and all drama. Don't go away. Group Chat on BTPM NPR. We'll be right back. Thanks for joining us again on Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, and I'm joined by Elyse Breeze, our Director of Digital Strategy at Buffalo Toronto Public Media, Katie Daugherty, she's our Social Media Associate at Buffalo Toronto Public Media, and Cory McCants, teacher, performer, storyteller, and host of Buffalo Toronto Public Media's digital series Compact History and Compact Civics. So we touched on this a little bit in the last block, reality TV. It's always coming up. Escapism, drama. Why are we obsessed with reality TV? Is it escapism?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I think so.
Cory?
I guess it's hard to argue that it is. I don't know if it's the healthiest, but it definitely gets you to tune out what's happening in your world, you know?
Yeah. Even though sometimes, I don't know. I guess there's so many different kinds of reality TV now that some things can be escapism for me and some things can be like, I don't need to be watching this right now. This is traumatizing.
Right.
I feel, so there's all different types of reality shows. I think the one big one right now that I know, Elyse, you're a fan of is Love Island.
Well,
so
yes.
I have seen people obsessed with this show and also people saying, am I the only one that doesn't watch this? So I feel like you have two sides of the fence. So we're going to be talking more about that. But if you had to pick, a reality show that you can't live without right now, or one, it can be a guilty pleasure. It can be something that you watch or that you would, if you don't watch reality TV, Cory, what one would you be interested in checking out? Do you watch reality TV?
No,
I know.
I don't. There was a point in time where I did. And then I think...
What did you watch?
I mean, it was... Well, I mean, at a time when, like, Jersey Shore is also reality TV.
Well,
yeah.
And it's, like, a lot more slice of life. Like, it's still dramatized and it's still, extreme. But it's like, it is just these regular people doing this thing. And I think the thing for me now is that because reality TV is so big... your reality TV people are characters of themselves. So like the Jersey Shore are these kids from around this place at the Jersey Shore and you're seeing what happens. And most of the time you're like, yeah, I know this kind of guy. And now you'll have a celebrity or a housewife or someone on a reality show and they are a dramatized reality show version of themselves to sell because it sells so much. And so I think that that's where I was like, this is too much because they're not good actors. It's not like they're acting, but they're not themselves. And this is weird in between where I'm just like, I can't get with it. But like, I do know that everybody around me is obsessed with whether it's Love Island or one of the Real Housewives of whatever city. Like, you know what I mean? So I get it. I do. I can't get with it. I can't.
Well,
so
you hate reality.
Okay, so
hate it.
I mean, it's okay. That's fine. It's a group chat. But let's compare. Like, if you think about the beginnings of reality TV, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I noticed some threads in there of maybe things now are a little more scripted. Do you feel like? So, when you were watching, even you go back to The Real World or, and maybe Jersey Shore did end up being more scripted as the seasons went along. But if you go back to some of that early 2000s reality TV and then you look at now, like there are we've had people on here that are casting for these shows, so there does feel like more of a scripted situation. I think you started to see that with the Kardashians, where that started to feel very planned and very scripted. So
there's a few of them.
So their lives are scripted, which I think is the most interesting part of them.
I will say when I was still living in New York, back in the day, I was actually on a reality show. I wasn't like a cast member.
Wait, what?
I was so I was featured on a show called Love and Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but that was probably the real turning point, because I, in New York, was an actor.
Yeah.
And I was with a bunch of actors. And the scene was, it was this guy, what is his name? Peter Gunn's. It was Peter Gunn's birthday. And it was his birthday party, and they were celebrating. And they wouldn't tell us what we were doing until the day of. Like, we couldn't know because you had to keep it under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
And when we got there, we, like, all us extras, background actors, filled in this restaurant. All the actors got behind the bar. They poured water into the drinks and stuff like that. And then, like, this Escalade pulls up, and you see the cast of Love and Hip Hop. And it's like, this is a scene. This is not reality at all. Like, none of us were there. I was playing somebody's friend. He came up to me afterwards like, this is crazy, man. But, like, we're all actors. Like, this is the same thing I do on set. And so that was when I was like, and a fight broke out. You know, the fight seemed real, and the director came out and yelled at everybody like, stop. But then they went back to one to go reshoot the entrance. And I'm like, all of this is fake. All of this is fake. Yeah. And so that's when I was like, oh no, I can't watch this and know how, like, I don't know, brain rot it is, and then it not even be real. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And so that was probably the biggest turning point for me. Like, I'm good on the reality.
Yeah.
I did not expect you to have a backstory on why you don't like reality.
Well, yeah, I guess I didn't think of it that way, but, like, you know, talking about it, was like, yeah, that was really the last time I was like into anything.
I remember when I lived in New York, and I had friends that were, you know, just going to casting for extras and auditions, and there were a lot of situations where they would show up to be an extra and it ended up being a reality show.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, some of it maybe makes sense, like, you know, not having release forms for all the random people, but like, the drinks were fake, the bartenders were fake, like, everything. Yeah. Y'all reshot the fight. The fight happened twice. I'm like, this is crazy.
Elyse, are you going to be watching Love Island differently now? Will you be looking in the background?
No, because they don't have extras.
It's just them. Right.
But, you know, I think that from early, I've been watching Love Island for a few years now. So, you know, in the original seasons, they were more authentic people, I guess I should say. Now, especially this season, a lot of them are established influencers, which I think kind of takes away some of, like, the ingenuity of the show, for as much as you can have, you know, authenticity in Love Island. But, like, this season has been more difficult because you can tell that a lot of these people are, like, media trained. They're
aware.
They know what to say. They know how to get to the finish line. So I think it makes for this season of Love Island to be not a great season of Love Island, but great reality television.
There you go.
Yeah.
So,
there you go.
You know, I'm watching it for the drama. I love, I don't like drama in my personal life, but I love to be viewing other people's drama from the other side.
Too.
You know, there's something that feels really good about that, where I can then come to people and be like every morning I come into work and I ask, like, one of my coworkers, I say, what'd you think of last night's episode? And it's just like, just a fun way to, like, connect that's so, you know, I hate to say, like, meaningless, but it kind of is. It's just.
It's there is definitely a bond around reality TV. I mean, people have parties to watch the shows and the finales and the, you know, the first episodes.
When The Bachelor was, I wasn't a fan of the last couple seasons, but I started having people over every Tuesday night or every Monday night, whenever it would air, and we call it Bachelor Night. And my friends still come over on Tuesdays, even if we don't watch a reality show. That's how it started. So, and it's just sweet. Like, and I just know that that's, like, an opportunity that I get to see my friends. And half of them don't even watch reality TV like that. But again, just fun way to connect over something that's, like, so mindless and silly.
I feel like I've started to watch certain shows because I got invited to like a Bachelor, you know, viewing, and I end up, like, eating the snacks and like kind of paying attention, you know, and I'm like,
it's like if you're not a football fan and you're going to the Super Bowl parties, you're just going for the snacks and maybe the commercials, you know?
Right.
You're going for the yapping.
I started watching The Bachelorette because my cousin had me and her friend over. So that's how I started getting it. That was my first reality show that I actually started watching, was because of that. And also going back to what we're talking about, how people are, too scripted or something like that. I think that's why I like Big Brother so much, because it is reality. There's still a lot of drama. There's a lot of gameplay, but they're also being watched 24/7. There's a live feeds 24/7 unless they're doing like a challenge or something. So they're constantly being watched, and you can't fake it for that long.
Yeah.
So you get to actually see the raw conversations, and you watch them make dinner and, just them being themselves. And I think I really like that about Big Brother, because there's still that drama that entices you, but you get to see the real people.
I think that, to your point, I know we've had Alexa Zappia on here, who has a job as a casting director and for reality TV. And it used to be, I feel like back in the day, like you submitted yourself to be on a show and hoping you got picked, and there were auditions, and now they're recruiting, and you mentioned influencers, Elyse. People do look very polished now on reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess when you put anybody in a situation, you never know what's going to happen. Like on Big Brother, right? Do you like the crazy situations? Can you remember like something that sucked you in?
Yeah. Last season, there was this one girl, oh my gosh, I cannot remember her name, but she went on the staircase and started yelling at all the people in the house that they betrayed her, or they went behind people's back. And it was so dramatic, and it was so good. It was like a great start to all the drama. But then like it's also turned everybody against her, and they were all like trying to vote her off the whole season. So it's nice to see people work together like that to get rid of somebody who causes all the drama.
There you go, teamwork. So do all of the reality shows? I know like Bad Girls Club, like those. I don't think they do, but do all these shows? Are they vote off? Like you can be kicked off and stuff. The love shows, are they like that?
Love Island is like that, but it's usually based on like you vote. Like there's an app, and you can vote for like your favorite couple or your favorite
the people, like the viewers vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like they'll have the Islanders vote people off. So it's that's kind of how it's determined.
Who are the Islanders?
Everybody who is participating in the Love Island.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay. So there's not like people on the island.
No.
Right, because there's no extras. It's just the Islanders are all of the people that are on Love Island.
And
just for people that don't know.
To find
at
love,
home.
right? Like that's the goal is to
And also probably get a brand deal at the end of it.
Well, I mean, two birds, one stone. You know?
Exactly.
I mean, you can knock them out.
Okay.
But I think that's what really draws people in, too, is that you get a say in these people's lives. You get to vote. You get to do that in Big Brother, too. You do that in, like, you get to vote and have a say in their whole end game.
I'm going to tune into Big Brother. I never have.
Oh my gosh,
my
please.
sister is a viewer.
It's so good.
I also love like reality competition shows.
Yes.
Like those are really big for me. Like Traders, RuPaul's Drag Race, $1 Million Secret on Netflix, The Mole. I love those. The Circle. Secret. I applied to be on The Circle.
Really?
Oh my God. I wanted to be on it so I feel like I could definitely win The Circle.
That one I had. That one I think it came out, it was a COVID thing though. So I think it was like one of the but I have seen that one, and that one brought me back to like old school reality TV. Like it was because the whole thing of that is deception. And that did seem a little more real, like Big Brother. Like it was less scripted. And those people aren't influencers. Like, you know what I mean? If you look at those people's social medias, they're not the influencers. And so that one, I do remember that one. That is one that I have watched within at least the past couple of years. And that one was pretty good.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun and it's silly.
Oh my gosh, one of my favorites.
I would die to be on it.
Well, I know a casting producer.
Yeah,
so.
well, and
let her know that I'm looking. No, I actually don't think I could handle them.
For $1 Million Secret too, because we had somebody that did a bridge takeover that was on $1 Million Secret.
Yeah.
Then,
that's right.
And then there's somebody from Toronto that went really far.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's, and they, seem like regular people.
Yeah.
The ones where you have to vote people off and people can turn on each other, that gives me anxiety. It's like this whole Game of Thrones situation. Or like, I'm just like, no, don't.
I know, I'm addicted.
I know.
To the feeling.
And then I don't know if it's The Bachelor or The Bachelor or Bachelorette, where I used to feel bad for people, like if they didn't get the rose, but then I'm like, wait, you put yourself in that position, you start to get.
Like, well, that's what you expect, you know? That's why I have to laugh on The Bachelor when people are like, I can't believe he's dating other people. Like, now, girl, do you know what you signed up for?
I can't believe he kissed her. How do you think, we talked about influencers, but how do you think like TikTok or some of the new social media platforms have changed reality TV? Because we've definitely seen a difference, as we've talked about. Is that making it easier for them to cast people? Or, I mean, Secret Life of Mormon Wives. Don't even.
Yes, I forgot.
Somebody brought that up on a previous group chat. Somebody brought it up, and I was like, I need to see what this is about. And I got sucked in.
So good.
Yes,
So
I didn't.
Good.
And it was all started on what was the TikTok? What was Mom Talk? And I was like, I would not have thought that that's what that was about. I would have thought it was recipes or like how to tame your 3-year-old. But no, it was it was Secret Life of Mormon Wives. And I sat there and watched 5 episodes right away.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yep.
But that started from TikTok.
Yeah. And to your point, like, I think it does make it easier for like casting and producers to find people to be on these shows, and maybe obviously different with Secret Life of Mormon Wives, where somebody's watching this and they're like, oh, these people are a little nuts. I would love to have them on a TV show.
Yeah.
But I mean, like for like casting Love Island or casting those types of things, I think it showcases your personality a little more, so they can say like, oh, would this person be good for reality TV? Does this person give an aura of like, I could flip on a dime at any second. I could have a little crash out.
Yeah.
So I think that probably makes it easier for them. I would love to hear a producer's take on that.
Yeah.
I think also social media just has such a community now for people watching these shows because, even if I'm not watching Love Island this season, I'm seeing it all over my feed. And then these people are so excited about it, and it makes you want to connect with everybody. And you can, connect with these people even if you don't actually know them. And it gives a sense of community. And I really like that aspect of the online world.
So that could be one of the draws of reality TV, is just the connection and maybe an escape.
Well, it seems like that's what it started off as. Like when you talk about the real world, the road rules, it was like 7 unlikely strangers. You know
I know.
I mean? Like, so it was people that you could see on an average day, or like you would see if you lived in New York when the first one happened in New York. It's like you might see one of them or something like that. And so it's gone full circle, because then you get the Kardashians and you get like Laguna Beach. You get these people who you probably wouldn't see, and it's kind of come full circle. But back to like if Jeremiah. So if Jeremiah goes live on TikTok or Instagram or something like that, you can you can actually text it, like write him live, and he can respond to it. So now you're back to like this person this handsome guy who like is now somewhat celebrity, but like I can talk to him. So now it's even more so the person that I could talk to or see on an average day, because they'll go live, you can talk to them, or they'll make a video, and sometimes they respond to your videos or whatever. And so it's ultimately the viewer feeling like they have some type of access to this person that they might not normally, like their live or their lives or whatever it is. And so I do think it feeds that animal even more. And with like social media and stuff we have. Yeah. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, or like maybe it's sometimes one and sometimes the other, but like brand deals, that wasn't a thing in the past. Like definitely not for just the average person to like get a brand. But if you have enough followers, I mean, having a lot of followers, it's one of the questions they ask you when you do big commercials. Like even now, casting directors will be like, well, we need your sizes, we need this and this, and we need, can we get your social media? Now, maybe some of it is because they want to see your political views. They don't want you leaning too far one way or the other because of their brand. But the other thing is, does this person have influence? So nowadays, having a lot of followers, it's a currency of sorts, you know?
And then you had these subgenres that popped up based on those things, but also what people were seeing in these original reality shows. You know, I feel like when you were talking about Real World, I feel like they tried to put the most opposite people together to see how they would react with each other. And then I do feel like in a lot of the shows, people were always going back to the love stories and the drama. And now you see this whole subgenre of...
That is the theme. That is that's what the show's about.
Yeah. So what does that say about how we view love and relationships in 2025? And fake relationships. I'm sorry, I'm not going to...
No,
I could say para, but it's literally not.
Yeah.
I gotta say, my girlfriend asked if I wanted to watch Queer Ultimatum with her, and it's just about like testing relationships, and I said no thanks, because then I'm gonna have bad dreams about her cheating on me or something. I know, but sometimes watching those shows when people are cheating on each other, you know, testing their relationship, I'll just it'll give me nightmares.
A little bit. Not cheaters though. Cheaters is just funny. Watching the show Cheaters is funny, but like a show like that sounds like heart aching. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to watch them like sabotage their relationship or something like that, you know?
Remind me, is Cheaters the actual video?
Cheaters is
like people like thinking
is where somebody contacts the show and the host comes on and they hire a PI and they follow the person and all that, and the person is usually cheating and then they confront them all on camera, and it's usually the funniest stuff. It is the funniest stuff. And they've had guest hosts before, they've replaced hosts, and it's just, I mean, actually, Peter Guns, who I was on Love and Hip Hop with, was the host once, and Peter Guns is known for cheating on his girl, and he was like, man, you can't be doing this to your girl, and dude was like, Peter Guns, you cheat all the time. He's like, I used to, it's a different life, but like that kind of stuff, that kind of reality TV, I could watch all day because it's comedy. I think that's comedy. These shows seem more like drama, and you know, it just seems a little more hurtful, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to find that episode of Love and Hip Hop. That will be our next homework assignment for
They're
group
going to share
chat
it with the class.
Yes. When we come back from the break, we're talking about book adaptations and why some stories thrive on the page while others find new life on screen. Group chat on BTPM NPR. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with my guests, Elyse Breeze. She's our Director of Digital Strategy at Buffalo Toronto Public Media. Katie Daugherty, she's our Social Media Associate at Buffalo Toronto Public Media. And Cory McCants, a teacher, performer, storyteller, and host of Buffalo Toronto Public Media's digital series, Compact History and Compact Civics. Keeping things a little lighter today, though. And, you know, we've been talking about everything from national days. Yes, there is a National Mojito Day, so you might want to look that up. Reality TV, and now books, which can also be an escape for people. Books compared to their adaptation on screen. So first off, do you have to read the book before watching a screen adaptation, whether it is the movie, whether it's a movie or a show or a series? Do you feel like that is a prerequisite?
I feel like it depends.
Yeah.
On how popular. I feel like Pretty Little Liars, the show, was way more popular than the books, at least like from what I was aware when I was watching it. So I don't think that I needed to read the books, but then something like Little House on the Prairie, I'm like nerd about Little House on the Prairie. It's kind of embarrassing. But I had to read those books before I watched the show. So I feel like it depends on like if they're classics or if they just got famous from the show.
You feel like just out of respect for it, or like because the content, like understanding the content?
I'd say both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, then you have shows where people don't even know that it was a book first.
Like Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah, Pretty Little Liars. A lot of people did not know that was a book first. They knew the show.
Yeah.
So then they might be like, oh, maybe I want to read that book.
Yeah.
Because, or the book. So, so there's Little House on the Prairie, like you said, like something that, you know, it ends with us, which I didn't realize was a book before, because I think because you saw all of the controversy over that with the Blake Lively lawsuit. What if there's a book that you like and then a screen adaptation or a show comes out, does it make you want to watch it or does it make you not want to watch it? Like if you really like a book, if you read Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. There's been a few where I'm, there's one specifically I will never see like the movie adaptation. The Great Gatsby was my favorite, like one of my favorite books in high school.
Oh, wow.
I have never seen the like new film adaptation.
I was going to say either? You've seen the...
No, I've seen the original movie, but like I haven't seen the Leonardo DiCaprio one. I just like, I think everyone's like, oh, it's really good. Like you would like it. And I'm like, I don't know. It's just going to like, I have my own idea of what these characters look like and talk like in my head. And I don't really want to ruin it. But like for like a silly thriller or something, yeah, sure. Yeah. What the heck, sure.
Yeah,
I'll
it depends.
Watch it.
I think my favorite book of all time is, maybe not all time, but recently that I read is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to read that.
That I'm pretty sure is going to Netflix or something soon, and I'm scared. Like I hope they don't, ruin it or mess it up or anything like that, especially after the whole drama with It Ends With Us. Controversial, but I did like the book because Colleen Hoover can be controversial, but I did like the book, and then the whole thing blew up with the movie. So I wonder also if creators and directors are now a little nervous to do book adaptations after all of that drama went down.
Yeah. Even though they seem to be money makers, especially, series.
Yeah. I think speaking of Colleen Hoover books, I think Verity is going to be either a series or a movie, and I really liked that book. That's the only Colleen Hoover book I've read, admittedly, but I really, really liked that one. But I'm a thriller girl. I love that's like my form of escapism outside of reality television. I love like a cheesy thriller novel, like the Frida McFadden books. I think The Housemaid is getting turned into a series, which I'm kind of stoked about. So I like that.
2026 Verity is supposed to become a film.
I'll wait it out.
I have heard that book title so much. I feel like it's a big like book club title or just people, a lot of people reading it. So maybe I might have to read it.
Honestly, you should. I've got a copy. I'll bring it in.
Read it before the movie comes out. Yeah. Is there a book that you would like to see made into a movie? I feel like every popular book.
I feel like it's difficult just because they are different mediums. You know what I mean? And so like movies, you get at max 3 hours. Like nobody's sitting through longer than that. So you get 3 hours to tell a story that was told in 200, 300 pages. But even the same for a series. Like you look at M. Night Shyamalan has a lot going on with him. But like when he turned The Last Avatar or The Last Airbender into a movie, it's like it doesn't work because they had so many episodes per season to do this thing. And in the book, like you have so many pages and you are, as descriptive as you want to be or not, to build this thing that people build in their minds. And then you have to make that on the screen in reality. And so it's like so difficult. You know what I mean?
Pressure.
Like movies are probably the hardest. Reese Witherspoon seems to do really well with the types of books she chooses and making a mini series. And I think a mini series is so much closer because it has a definite end. You're not going to have seasons of nonsense just to make money. Yeah. But she also chooses books that are like based in reality. They're not like fantasy books.
Like Little Fires Everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a good
She's
one. Done a couple of them where it's like these are realistic books about, people's lives or whatever and the drama that goes on. And then you make that into technically a 5-hour movie by making it 5 1-hour episodes. Yeah. You can consume it easier and you can tell more of the story. Yeah. And so making any book that I like a movie, I feel like, they did it well with Harry Potter, but even that, sometimes it's like, that's not how I saw that. Even Hermione's name is like, that's not, when I was in the 4th grade, that's not how I read that name. You know what I mean? So some of that stuff. But, if you have the director or the writer, they're with you, like that would help. But, I don't know about making it movies because I feel like it's usually not as good. It's usually not as good as the book. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I do have to say that Shakespeare movie adaptations helped me understand Shakespeare more.
Yeah, for sure.
In high school, it's like
That's true.
That's a great
give me
point.
Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio. You know,
I think that directors also have to be careful to not go too far off from the book.
yeah.
Kaylee Cuoco, she did a series adaptation from the Flight Attendant book.
Oh yeah.
And that show, oh my gosh, it was one of my favorites of all time. The first season, that was based on the book. And then the second season was just not as good. So I think, going off the tracks a bit too much, you got to be cautious about that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Another one I didn't know was based on a book. But I saw her and I was like, I want to watch this because she was involved in it.
She's my favorite.
Yeah. But that was like the perfect couple. I didn't realize that was a book, and I got sucked into that series with Nicole Kidman, and then afterwards, I'm like, do I read that book or did I see it all? Because that was so good.
Right.
Do I need to?
Yeah, you could always like.
I have a stack that of books that I haven't read.
Yeah,
So I'm like, well, I
to be
saw the
read.
movie, so I can check that one out.
Well, so would you guys ever read a book after watching the video version of something?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
have.
Has it been as fulfilling, or has it been? How do you feel like?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like which one
Yeah.
that I have read afterward. I know that I have.
Yeah.
I've found myself doing that with like biographies where
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
like
read
there's a
biographies.
movie based on
It's too boring.
you're not reading the right ones, Katie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a list.
Yeah, there's an Oasis one out there. You know what I mean?
I haven't read that one actually. Well, I mean, speaking of Reese Witherspoon, I remember watching Walk the Line and like, oh wow, this is really good. Just how they interpreted the characters, real life characters. And then I remember seeing that it was actually based on a book that Johnny Cash wrote. And I read the book and I was like, this is exactly how the movie went. And it was his autobiography. He wrote the book and they followed it exactly. So that was kind of interesting to see that play out. He also wrote pretty theatrically, but because he was also a songwriter. So I did do the reverse of that. But I think it would be hard though. You know, I know they were, before the show, people were asking us, like, what books would you want to see turn into a movie? And I feel like it would be hard to do an autobiography like Spare or like Britney Spears' book or something, you know? But it's like, I kind of almost want to see how it would be done. But it could also be a train wreck. So
There's
Sorry. I was going to say, I've tried to do the reverse, like with the Flight Attendant, and I just couldn't get through that book. And then I also tried that with Anne of Green Gables. And I don't know, I feel like I have that mindset of, oh, I already know what happens.
Right.
But I don't know why it's different for the book for me. I guess because you can get it over in 3 hours watching the movie after reading the books for many more hours. So I feel like it's not as time consuming when you already know.
And you get to see it. And you're like reading, it's all in your head.
Yeah.
When you see, you know what I mean? A movie, it's like they're putting life to what you thought. And so it's like different, I guess, to go from like, oh, it's life and I see everything to like, now I'm envisioning. I'm only envisioning those are the characters.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one of the reverse ones that I watched was I never read Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah.
I never read that in school. And then I saw the movie that came out in like, 2017, 2016. And I was like, oh, I guess I never read that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I guess I never really read that. And so I went back and read it. And I was like, that was great. I'm glad I did that. You know, so maybe like those older, ones. Like maybe if I had watched The Great Gatsby first, I would have wanted to read the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it's interesting too because you'll see aspiring authors on social media or, you know, different platforms talking about books and then screenplay adaptations. So as they're writing a book now, there are authors that are thinking of, if this could be a movie.
Right.
So it's almost that goal of the book turning into a movie because I mean, I think it would be safe to assume if your book turns into a movie, you're going to make a lot more money on the book and then on the movie.
Yeah.
So I feel like now there are people writing books so that they
It's
become
actually
movies. I know.
really interesting because my high school librarian, who I was actually super close with, again, I was a nerd, and read A Little House on the Prairie, and so did she. But she's actually an author, and I've been watching her process because her book got picked up for an adaptation on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're actually filming in Toronto right now, I think. But I saw her post oh, my book is published. And then a year later, oh, or even more than that, oh, they're picking this up. Oh, we're looking for our cast. Oh, we got our cast. Now we're filming. So it's really cool to watch in real time.
So
and then she just posted today like that. Now it's on paperback or something, and it has the little Netflix circle that is going to be on Netflix.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out Jennifer Aniston.
Let's go. Congratulations.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's similar to the conversation we were having about reality TV when casting directors see something popular and see people, influencers and TikTokers, and, and then they say, okay, well, we need to have that person because then they're going to grow our brand. If somebody sees a book that makes the New York Times bestseller list or seems to, a lot of people are buying it or reading it. Oh, well, if this is popular, maybe the movie would be,
Right.
equally as popular.
Yeah.
In case you just joined us, you're listening to Group Chat. I'm your host, Bentley, here with Elyse Breeze, Katie Daugherty, and Cory McCants. We're talking about books versus films versus shows. Are there adaptations that are a little too dark or a little too deep? And so how do you digest this? Where I'm going with this is one of the books that got brought up that is now going to be a movie on Apple TV is I'm Glad My Mom Died. And it's about emotional abuse, fame, and control. And Jennifer Aniston was just announced as one of the main cast members. So how do actors, how does this get pulled off? Is this something that is too dark to approach in film?
Has anyone read that?
No.
No, Jennette McCurdy?
Yeah.
No.
It was so good. Now, it was presented to me as being funny.
Oh, wow.
And it was not funny. I mean, she's a funny person, so she brought a lot of like dark humor into it. But I was like, oh, whoa. I remember like I kind of had to take a break halfway through because it was really heavy, but it was very well written. The story was so compelling because I grew up watching iCarly. That was like one of my favorites. And kind of hearing the dark side of what was going on at the same time was really interesting to me. I think that the only way they can pull that off is because she is like an executive producer, I believe.
Okay. There's a difference.
She's working on the adaptation very closely.
Yeah.
So I think that it'll be very authentic because she has so much involvement. And
it's a series. Do you want to explain a little bit, since you've read the book, do you want to explain the storyline a little bit?
Yeah. So it follows Jennette McCurdy's time as a child actor. Specifically, it gets into like her time with Nickelodeon and being on iCarly. But like from a young age, her mom was encouraging some very dysmorphic body dysmorphia, a lot of eating disorders and disordered eating issues with her, and it kind of chronicles her journey through that, and just how hard it was for her, and like the sense of relief that she had, and also guilt when her mom died. That sense of relief that maybe like that part of her life was over, that she didn't feel so desperate for her mom's like approval, because she said that she went and she didn't want to act, but her mom pushed her to do it. So that was a big part of it. And then she gets into like the Nickelodeon stuff. So yeah, it was a very heavy book, but sprinkled with her own like dark humor and stuff put into it. So it was great. I would highly recommend it.
And it seems like there are some common themes in there when you hear stories of child actors, but maybe anybody that had a parent, maybe there are similar situations, and maybe that it might be why some people are drawn into, the true story aspect of it. And then I know there's been a little bit of, I don't want to say backlash because it's too new, but can Jennifer Aniston pull this kind of movie off?
Oh, yeah. Have you seen The Morning Show?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That was my thought. That's my queen. She can do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people, I mean, I think that, once somebody becomes famous for a role, they tend to get like typecast in people's heads. So you have to break them out of that box.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I definitely saw that with Kaylee Cuoco after The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like she was, the girl next door, always funny. And then she was in The Flight Attendant, and that was so dark and so different. And then she was in,
I forget which one, the one where she's like the host of a true crime
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh,
I forget
yeah.
what that one is called, but it was
Yeah.
really good.
oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
Elyse, you said that the I'm Glad My Mom Died was posed as a funny book to you, or like, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, why? Who lied to me about this? I don't know if it was just like kind of what I saw and interpreted from like social media, or if it was like recommended to me. I can't remember how it kind of came across my desk. But I think because she had so much of those like dark humor elements, it's told from her point of view, like using first person. So she makes a lot of jokes about herself, about the world she was living in, about her friends and her family and what was going on. Again, like using that dark humor element, I think is sort of like a comedic relief type of thing.
Yeah.
But like in the moment, you're reading about some of the darkest stuff you've ever heard, and she makes like a self-deprecating joke, and you're like, ha
Yeah.
and trying to move on. But it's,
It'll be interesting to see how that dark humor comes across in the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder if she can do it, because like
Yeah.
it's going to be a child through most of it. Like, how can you convey that? So I think it'll be probably a very serious adaptation, right?
Well, and casting seems to be challenging when people already know a story.
Yeah.
If you're the one that has the vision and you're the director, nobody's heard the story before. You can kind of start from nowhere.
Yeah.
But you've got to make sure you're meeting Elise's expectations after.
Well, yeah.
she read
I feel like
book.
she could do anything, and I'll be excited. I loved hearing that she was like so heavily involved in it, because when I didn't know that, I was like, oh, come on. Like, I'm like, how did they do that? But because she's doing it, I think it'll be great.
I feel like that type of story, you need that involvement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So plans for the weekend. Are you reading more now that the weather's nice?
I am. I just finished
same.
a book and I haven't read in like a year, so it's very exciting. It's the summer and the sun and the pool, sitting by the pool. Of course, I want to read a book.
Yeah.
And my phone heats up in the sun anyway, so you
Right.
can't even go on your
Right.
phone. So
Right.
so then it forces you to read. So
Yes.
it's great.
And when you're trying to actually detach, you need your phone away from you.
Yeah.
Anything exciting going on for you, Cory, this weekend? You always have something
You think?
in the works. I'm on a reality show.
I think for me, the summer makes me write more. So although I do have a few books I need to finish, writing is what I'm doing. So that's probably what like my weekends will consist of. Just I got a few scripts I'm writing and a few concepts and things, and I really, really want to get that done and start filming some stuff. So that's where all my energy and attention is going. Outside of like birthdays and stuff like that.
Birthday planning.
Yeah.
What do you want to do for your birthday?
I know what I'm doing. It's a bossed up 36. I'm gonna be 36. I'm old, man. I'm old. So we're gonna do, we're renting out a speakeasy, and it's gonna be like almost like mafia style, but not so much, but like where everybody's gonna dress up. I'm gonna hire a photographer, get like pictures and stuff, and it's gonna be like an old school,
I love it.
bossed up vibe.
Wait, when is your birthday?
It's in August.
August.
okay.
Yeah. So I got some time, but
Because mine's Tuesday, so I was
really?
like, I didn't know if yours was
Well,
soon
you
too.
can-
Oh, he's
come to
already
mine,
planning his party.
And Cory, your grandma does want to come to that, by the way.
I feel like she would, but you never know. I don't want her, to feel like she's got to do too much. But she actually might have one of those old dresses
Buy her a
lying
flapper
around.
dress.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Wearing your Sunday best.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Elise, what do you have going on?
Oh, like I mentioned at the top of the episode, I'm going to see Superman, which
Yeah.
I'm very excited about. I've been looking forward to it for like months at this point. And then I'm taking my niece and nephew for the weekend, give my sister a little break.
Wow.
Hey,
How
auntie.
old?
Yeah, I'm excited. 10 and 8.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
You can have a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Yeah, you guys can do a lot. Yeah.
They're like the perfect age where like they want to do cool
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, when I would take them when they were a little younger, it was like, I don't know, you guys want to watch a movie? Like, I don't really have a yard for you to play in. I don't have any stuff at my apartment for you to do.
Yeah.
So I think, well, they won't listen, so I can say it. I think I'm gonna take them to Darien Lake. I think we're gonna do a little water park. Me and my fiance gonna take them out. Or like maybe the zoo, something low key. Can't decide, but I'm excited.
You can do both.
Exactly. You know what?
Yeah.
Friday to Sunday, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, they're fun because my niece is a little nerdy, and my nephew is like super into bugs and animals and stuff. They make me feel excited.
The zoo does have an exhibit that my son's obsessed with because I don't like creepy crawly things. So of course he wants to see all that. So it's like inside. Having kids around always gives you permission to do the things that you missed doing as a kid, and it's okay. So go on those water slides.
Yeah, exactly.
Katie, your birthday's coming up. We need to plan for this.
You should have had a cake or something today,
I
man.
know. Well, you still have time. What are your plans for the weekend?
I will be pet sitting and going in her pool because they opened my pool at my complex for a day because then people didn't listen to the rules and got glass in the pool, so then it closed. So, but I'll be going in Heather's pool.
I know where her house is, and you're gonna look outside and you're gonna see me playing mermaids out there.
Pull up. Absolutely, we'll have a work birthday party
For sure.
Pull up.
Me and my niece and nephew.
Perfect.
That's what you have to do when you live in the city in the summer. You just got to find people with pools.
There you go.
I haven't looked at the weather. I hope it's sunny.
I mean, I think we're owed some sunshine.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm actually on Monday going to see Run the Jewels and Wu-Tang Clan in Toronto.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I know.
God, you buried the lead on that one.
I had
like no big plans.
I was like, wait a minute. No, I just can't believe it's July already. So I was like, wait a minute. I got these tickets forever ago.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, that's coming up. So I'm going to lounge for the weekend, but then I'm going to party.
Yeah, as you should.
On Monday.
Crazy.
So
Oh my God.
I'm excited. Well, thank you guys. This was a great episode, and we will be following up on your birthday celebrations, just know, and on Superman. So that conversation will continue. But that wraps up today's episode of Group Chat for now. If you want to continue the conversation, make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BTPMNPR. Also, check us out on the video podcast on Buffalo Toronto Public Media's YouTube channel. And if you love public media, help protect it. Make sure you visit protectmypublicmedia.org to learn more. It's an informational site, and it also shows you ways to take action. So again, that's protectmypublicmedia.org. And this show, Group Chat, is part of a public media station. I'd like to thank my guests, Elyse Breeze, Katie Daugherty, and Cory McCants. I'm your host, Bentley. Have a great weekend, and thanks for listening.